I'll try this again, doing a walk that got really blithered up last time. Looking back at all those rain droplets on the lens. I'm gonna call the video "Watch Me Rub Rain Droplets Off the Lens with my hand instead of a lens cloth I didn't bring for the duration of nearly 50 minutes or so. Let's add this to the back of that video. Well, I'll contemplate whether to do that or not. It has some nice wobble vision. 640 by 480 frame size. It's one of my favorites. Yet still, I'm gonna try to recount everything I said in the last video. I don't know about that. Nice day. Yeah, check that out, that phantom. It phantoms right there with that lens. Oh, you might ask why I'm turning green. Well, this situation where I'm not a Ninja Turtle, but I'm a Ninja Newt. And I'm turning into one a little bit more and more over time. Starts with my shirt. And then with my hands. It starts on your clothes before your actual being. It's kind of strange, I guess. Check this out. The road right here starts to divot out right there. It's not that horrible right now, but it gets worse. And then you have a turn up here, and you don't want to be driving on that. So you try to go over that, but then it's a gamble every single time. So you might as well just slow down here. But there could be a car coming down, and then you're trying to beat the ruckus. Bad decision. One of those sweat inducer kind of days. This thing's just bleeping itself off. Thing needs a face on it. I think it's mighty handsome looking, that piece of machinery. One of a kind, top-notch technology. I'm going to do a historic museum tour of the last walk I was on. I was about right here and I found a piece of broken beer bottle glass. I said to myself I'd walk by this many times before. I knew it was in my responsibility to long ago have picked it up, but I hadn't. So I picked it up, put it in my front pocket, which I thought my batteries might have been in. Turns out my batteries were in my front chest pocket, because it was a button pocket. You don't want batteries in a freehand pocket because you'd go and reach for them and there'd be 3 batteries there and you'd say, where's that 4th battery? Long gone. You're dealing with rechargeables, you want the whole set to stay together. That way every single one will get the hopefully correct amount of rechargers. You add one fresh battery in, it's never been recharged before, with 3 other batteries that have had their share of being recharged, they're going to group together and just not know what to do. It's still rather busy. This roadway has become such where it doesn't seem to cease. If I was a rabbit, I'd go down that way. It's like a nice spot to be. And there's some... Now that person's coming out of their damn driveway right where I live around here, and they're always nosy. I don't mind them. But they're probably like... I don't know, I always gotta worry about menial stuff a lot of the time. It's typically the menial things people get their feathers ruffled about. which you think would be a good economy example. You know what I mean? I'll have to ask you how the wind filter's doing. This could be unusable. I try to keep it all in mind sometimes, you know. How would I feel if I saw me being outside of where I was? That doesn't make any sense. How would I feel if I saw somebody like me and I was outside? I'd say, look, they're taking a walk. It's a lot better than sitting indoors, reading controversy and drama, things people make a big deal about. Anyway, tell you what, if this footage doesn't work out with the audio, we just add a voiceover later on. Find some random audiobook about tractor manual repair, place it over. You know, one good thing that happened on that last walk that I got all messed up with the rain droplets getting on the lens. And by the way, there was that phantom lens not long ago, so it's confirmed that this lens protector gives a phantom lens to the power shot. I really do a lot of the time, you know, prefer to escape from the ultra high def though, you know. It seems like just the tool for that. And we're here for the sights anyway. So I have a bit of a kind of a thing going on where Zoom keeps releasing things in a manner of time where you know you should have waited, but you had no inkling that the new series features were going to be released like later on through the year or about a year and a half later. So I'm sitting around on this H6 Essentials recorder, and then they did the H6 Studio, and I'm thinking, geez, man, that's a wrenching punch to the gut, isn't it? It's like, indeed. I hear some people and all that, so I'll see if I get howled at. People like to fucking pick people like me out who are trying to have a kind of salvation against being stuck in gloomy dispositions, and anyone likes any inkling of power that they can get in their lives, you know what I mean? So I mean, you can only have to go back about 4 or 5 years, see how everybody was teething at having any facet of power against anybody else, with the 6 feet rule and all this stuff we're not supposed to remember whatsoever. So I'll turn this into more of a positive thing, not by being ignorant about it, but just enjoying some of the scenes and everything. Nice change up from last time is that there's not a huge caravan of cars heralding down. Let's see what happens a little bit further. Well, yeah, I'm apt to see how this audio might turn out, because it is windier. It's the human against the elements, no matter what way, no matter how far into technology and all that kind of thing. I'm into the shade now. Very happy about that. Major difference. Won't have to sweat too much of my being off. Well, the aim is to get healthier. I don't know what it was. A lot of my life had been retracted into feeling like I was just trying to get my energy levels all right and shit. Had this combobulated confusion about thyroid medication or some crud like that. And no matter how much the differences of changing up how much I was supposed to have had occurred, nothing settled on making me feel any different. So pretty sure at some point, you know, I got Lyme disease. You can't go as far out to your mailbox to avoid having a tick on you around this area. So somebody that likes to be outdoors as much as I like to be surely likely has Lyme disease, whether it tests negative or positive. And those tests where now I know that they don't always get your actual vein when they do blood tests. So my hand started to lose feeling for a bit, and they said you'll regain the feeling of your hand. And now I'm thinking, damn, do I even want to get a blood test again ever? I don't know. Check it out though. We're here for this. Oh, my batteries are dwindling, so glad I brought an extra set. Let's see how good these EBL batteries are. Right there though, once you get past here, you're out of being the gallery for people that almost get in car wrecks just to stare at you. Which actually just almost happened with somebody. They slowed down to a complete, and then a giant truck came behind them. The truck passed them. The car stopped immediately. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. Keep on going through this way. I'm gonna reprise my appreciation for these sycamore trees there. I adore them. Sure, they'll grow giant and then have the threat of dropping branches coming right down on the train tracks, but well, I won't doubt that they'll come through with a saw tool and actually just chop all of them at some point. I guess I'll have to appreciate them while keeping that in mind and not be too devastated when that probability does take suit. Anyhow, seeing if ganderers feel better about not having the lens wiped down every 24 seconds or so. It's no hokey novelty, by the way, about gathering those pieces of steel and all the scraps of metal pinging sound things. I just heard something that sounded like a growling wild cat. Something horrific. I had a tingle go up my spine like my survival senses. I hadn't experienced that in a super long while. So we'll see if I get eaten alive or not by something. Or if I befriend a wild beast and take over the East Coast. Alright, I got the batteries changed. That's fine, that's nice. EBL, they're pretty alright, I guess. They're a little bit thicker with the sticker packaging around the actual battery, so they're fitting kind of snug in some devices. There we go. I like getting out into this it's because I'm a fat person now, or if it's actually really hot out. I'm just sweating. I'm sweating perpendicularly. It's not something I've ever really experienced too many times in my life. Sometimes I used to think I had a hernia, so I started like poking it and staring at it, and then it was realized some rudimentary within that it wasn't a hernia after all. It was just a pain. We can actually get some better view. It is gonna compress. It is gonna, you know, flabbergast the video once it's on YouTube and running it through Wondershare, which I'm doing again. Taking a shortcut to compile clips without dragging it into my super, what do you want to call it, efficiently gotten video editing program. And all that. That's it right there. Makes me happy. Being in the breeze. Supposed to get some thunderstorms around like 5:30, which I'm super excited about. Can I take my ass up to the recording, what do you want to call it? I called the places I used to make music the Recluse cereal box or something like that. It's always crammed in practically everywhere. I was trying to record anything. Some things came out better than others. All that menial played stuff is up now if you want to check out that. But there is a lot of things that are different with actual, I don't know. Call me a bit wily, but I really just want to approach to create that is like an immediate collaging situation. Some haphazard choice about going about all of it, really. Like the idea now that I'm using this 640, people are going to say, what the hell is the matter with you? I don't know, something about keeping things raw when it comes to an approach and everything, you know. As soon as you start having the approach of knowing exactly what it is that's gonna, you know, have a easy go of people unquestionably enjoying things that you do. I don't know. Is that some built-in process of just making things hard for yourself just because? Yeah, probably. Well, for what it's worth, see, with the zoom lens and all this and that, without having to change out lenses or keep your zoom barrel digital zoom your device. But that was my go the first time, was to see what I could do with this protector lens, this UV lens, and see if it was botching things up or not. And I have one that does do higher definition video, but it's just trying to make it out that the power shots that go from, I think, S5 IS to SX10 or whatever, hold a graininess to them. And this is just odd territory for anybody, I'm sure, anyhow, because nobody's going really for messing about with old cameras like that, really. So my idea is that I can work with having a group of cameras that I can afford to have a rile up of a situation with and not be in too deep for messing up a super expensive camera. Because when I take things with me, isn't the answer to that a GoPro though? Maybe I can just look into that instead. Does a GoPro come with stereo audio though? Is any of this audio usable? I'm gonna stop and do some push-ups on these rail ties in just a second. Need to get in shape. think with the food industry today, if we are told that our body is a temple, then we're creating a wreckage and a havoc upon these vessels in which the spirit of consciousness and life energy is housed within. We desecrate our temples and then seem to offer wisdom and virtue demands to people we don't know. That's a bizarre one. Alright, this is a good time right here. Well, for what's recording right now, before anything happens with it reaching YouTube and then like having it recoded and everything, or just, you know, transferred, because it's recording in a movie file right now. This actually records straight into movie file, so it's going to go into MP4. The thing is right now, it's something that's interesting to me, because it's like, not like camcorder quality, it's almost like the old film between like, I don't know, the 70s to 80s, when you'd see like nature documentary films. I mean, it wasn't the greatest by any means, but there's something about it that makes me a bit intrigued. And I don't know if there's other cameras out there that are like, you know, comparative. I'm sure that there are, but it had that little bit of a lockup right there though. See? It's not doing it because of the protector lens. And it takes that long to do it. So that's how it goes, I guess. I just don't want the lens unprotected at this point. I have had situations like I had said in that last video, you know, so. What do you think? This is the one right here. Yeah, I see it. If I even choose to upload that video. I found this feller, and it's funny because it sat just like that when I decided to stow it away. You think I'm running a novelty act on that as far as percussion goes. See, I got my Teenage Mutant Ninja Newt hands going, in case you forgot about that. I know that I did. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen at some point, having instrumentation of things like this being in a percussive set. And I came back, no wily weasel or carnivorous wolverine had taken this. Though that would be my my percussionist. Absolutely. I'll take a sit here, right where the snaky curve comes through down in the stream here. There's another nice curvaceous streamway past a hidden away bridge, if you want to call it a bridge. I guess you could. A bridge for the train tracks. Pop into the audio being more clear since the mics are aimed towards me now. Have a nice peaceful sit down right here. You can actually sit, you can think. I don't have my smartphone with me, cell phone, whatever you want to call it. Just chill out here for a few. This is good. If you can find yourself getting out away from things, and it takes a little bit of some enthusiasm to push yourself to be able to do it, just do it anyway, you know? Get away from the digital data overload and all that. Not that I'm here to ever tell anybody what to do. I don't know. Maybe I should. Everyone else seems to want to do that. Getting insects on me, I like to just blow them off in a way, because going like that, I don't want to cripple a honeybee or something like that. That's a horrible idea. I'll see what I can do with getting some percussion recorded with all of that though, so. It's weird having those Zoom recorders around and never even hardly using them. They sure seem like they can do a lot, but the size of the things really is kind of a detriment. The amount of wanting to care for it and thinking that just about anything in the world looks like it's going to break one of those new Zoom recorders, and being out and this kind of stuff. This is it. This is the stuff all around. You got objects like this. Railroad stones. Always got something on your hands you think you might wash off because you're doing projects all the time and everything like that. And then you get like a new Zoom recorder or something like that, and you just look at it and you're just staring at the thing and you say, not today, not today. Today will be. It's like, so it's for indoors, really, unless you want to take it apart completely where the casing is off, wrap the casing in some sort of super Dura-proof material that you like use industrial glue or world's strongest bonding tape. Make it doomsday proof Zoom audio device, you know. I mean, maybe I'm just going up the wrong tree of thinking in regard to that, but there's a reason I haven't brought a Zoom out too often outdoors, because I feel like I'd have to babysit it the whole way through. So I could take this camera out with me just fine and hope that the settings are good for like the audio and all this and all that, but you're gonna get grit. It's gonna be gritty with the 640, and you never really know what's gonna happen, but somehow I figure I can get it all to work that way anyway, so. And you can get an idea of what you're looking at anyway. I'm going to do some push-ups. And then I'm going to watch the cow jump over the moon, but I don't see the moon out. It doesn't mean the cow's not going to jump over the moon. Also, check it out, we got some nice eventual storm clouds building up. They're pretty nice. They're padded and fluffy looking. They look fun to just dive right into. They'll catch you. It's just right there. Right there's where the UV lens gets a bit bitch-botchy. Sure, why not? I'll be right back. There, that feels a lot better. Getting that endorphin release and everything. Doing some push-ups. Not any heroic amount or anything like that, but good enough to try to keep going daily with that. Get outside daily. Exercise daily. Go out where the woodpeckers are, because I can hear the woodpecker family dispersing. It's quite a nice sight when you see them going in their flock and then kind of splitting off and everything. Can't see any exactly right now, but I can sure hear them. Mixed in with the cicadas. I hear it, but really nice to have the cicada sounds, the cricket sounds. I imagine the tree frogs will be out and nice and loud later with the hopeful rainstorm that comes along. Good thing too is the tree growth seems very nice this season. There's almost like a drought several years back, and that was terrible. And the well even dried out a few. It was a good sight. And get off my butt. Keep moving a bit, I suppose. I have this little bag with me today, so I can have a drink in there. Camera batteries, mandarins that haven't gotten rotten or weird. One time I bought a bag of oranges and there was an orange already bad right from the get-go, and it started to emit this molding, like spraying emanation, and I went to go move the whole bag and it like went off and this citrus just burst into the air, and it was impressive but also pretty alarming. I got this bag. It looks like it's not going to last for hardly anything the way the material is made, so it's a fixer-upper, I guess. Once some rips start, I'll have to just re-support like so much of the material. So how about JanSport? Those can be pretty durable and nice, right? It's just the zippers are the first thing to screw up on those. You learn to replace the zippers on stuff in life, and you'll find a fascinating encouragement to constantly repair zippers, and if not needing to repair, then to add zippers onto everything, because having zippers, it's an extreme plus. Beautiful thing in the world. If only everything on the planet had a zipper on it, you know. Then everyone would either hide from everyone or be very open to everybody, or possible mixture constantly of both, which is, I guess, what already happens. Well, the time is immeasurable and I still haven't gotten off my butt yet. I guess I should. I just zoomed out. So what? Anyway, I see some wildlife up there. Unless I didn't. I know you see a stick in a tree there. Right past there I saw, I think, a deer crossing. It's typically where I saw a deer the last time. Uh-oh. That's okay. I missed it, but it's alright. Oh. It looks like it's blurring the trees there, and even though it's held steady, I'll have to review later, see just what happened with that. Did what I could to not spook off the deer too soon from it having a nice brunch. I mean, it chose that palette of a brush to eat off of amongst the zillions of other brushes, so it must have been, you know, good quality taste and everything. I'm up. I might prefer fanny packs or over-the-shoulder handbags, actually, compared to backpacks. I think I'm done with backpacks, actually. I could actually do some better zoom testing now that I'm not getting raindrops all over. Just trying to test out how easy this locks in once zooming. Seems to be about how its mood is at the moment, this camera. You hear the breeze is picking up. The breeze, a couple of breezes out there actually. Signs of some wetness in the air and some rainfall. I'm thinking about how to get a tin roof on my camper, but let's not do that actually. That would actually, if I am recording anything and need the sound to be something other than just the backdrop of birds and crickets and all that kind of thing, and loud mufflers driving down the road. the exhaust doom of trucks with body mufflers, of course. We'll get a few of those and some recordings in the future for when I'm doing audio in my camper. Well, I have a Ziploc to put this camera in if it rains out, so I'm not totally concerned. That's my set of ideals. What I find intriguing is just old frames, things that were built that still continue to this day. Probably don't have that much longer. One of them is bound to tip and fall, and then the others will start to go once they catch signal that one had started. I think it's on the way through Pennsylvania, leaving Horseheads. You drive a while and there's this split between this lovely river and some of the freight trains. On the opposite side of the highway there's these really old electric or telephone posts, and they just seem so gallant that they stand to this very day. And it's that kind of thing that I think creates kind of artwork or the decoration of a decision to write, you know, that I hone into. I'll have to see. I mean, is this audio gonna be screwed? Because this wind is coming up pretty good right now. Woodpeckers make this a priority stop, it looks like, right here. Pardon me, my throat's getting a bit froggy. If I just jump right over here. Yeah, it's a whole different story. Without the protector, it just will lock right onto there just fine, but it takes a kind of a hiccup or two. So if you're going to cut any video out, you'd have to just cut it while it's blurring instead of just keeping the blur transfer in. It seems like it'll happen often. It feels very wonderful out right now. The breeze is gentle, it moves through the skin, pats on the pores. Feels super good, super peaceful. Yeah, I will hopefully be done ranting about things that are misconveyances or whatever, just stifling things going on. It was very frustrating in my life to know that I'm probably, no matter what, not gonna get any spots in festivals, let alone if I just create my own or have people actually redeem their promises of support and even just showing up. So I stifled, or did I stave and stafe? I don't know, is stafe a word? Let's figure that out. We can still make words too anyway. I claim it if it's not already, so might as well. I just have a whole lot to say about that because I wake up every day and kind of got used to basically getting whatever treatment that all that was. Knowing deep within there's a whole array of projects, expressions, archetypes, tuning in. And you get no chance around here whatsoever. It's done. Gatekeeping to an absolute maximum, and then niceties in person that you always get tricked by every single time is the niceties. And then you get back to waking up to seeing your dreams pushed away, and you're supposed to be in trouble when you stand up for yourself or have a different view of how you want to do things, make things, express things, you know. So if I overcome that and find triumph in my life, you know, if I overcome that, I feel like I'll keep that with me forever. That amount of disabandonment and being told I can't play with everybody else who already has other stuff going. Basically being treated like not being a human being whatsoever, and being in a massive trouble when you propel yourself to build a foundation for yourself. So call it alienation. But if other people are riz-razzing on their smartphones and puffing air up each other's arses and all that kind of thing, I'm at least bonding with something right now that I find a lot more deliberately enchanting, and that is the immediate surroundings that you see right through here. So perfect. This right here is a memory to last. Something about a spot just like this, you know. Almost matches the green. The green that's taking me over. Just look at the matching of that. Perfect. Just get a tripod. Lean it right towards that way and get the stream going for a while. I like to try to make some backdrops to music. I said that in one of the videos that was added to an album playlist, is that YouTube and the distributor will mix up a song that you'd already made a music video for, and if the song for the video is shorter than the album, they'll just throw it in there anyway. So if you ever get to any of the things that I've been working on and there's a music video there, it might not be the actual song I put on the album. I used to make a lot of demos or previews and just couldn't keep from wanting to create, so I just release it way ahead of time. I really like that idea of sharing the process of a song in its early endeavors before extra vocals get added or background percussion. Sometimes people, and I myself, prefer a simpler, more I don't know, just less of a worked on version of a song. Why not? This is the internet era, the digital era of endless data, so you can have an album full of songs that you haven't even added other layers to, have the same exact bass layer finished out on another album. I like to do my projects as a journaling a lot of the time. There's a little beetle bug. Can I stand on the rail and get a zoom in? We're almost there. We were right there. Did you see that? There we are. Oh, I'm tipping. Look at that beautiful beetle thing. It's not even that shy. Here we go though. The lens has to decide, and that's the scary part for me. For those moments that you can't mess about, focusing on focusing, zooming on zooming, and I think the one thing that would make this camera ideal is having the focus not be something there you have to press the button and dial this little wheel around, this wheel that is not going to go smooth after a while, and actually hold it steady while doing so. We work with what we have. This is just great though, you know? No gawkers driving by. Peacefulness. At a colorized version of the Night of the Living Dead. Good amount of some Orson Welles movies. Some Fritz Lang movies. I'm not complaining about anything. Not now. This is a good moment. Very photogenic spot here, especially during the winter time. I have some photos of that season right there. Just picture that winter time. Snow everywhere. Coated trees with the powder of snow. World without an economic downfall. Grandma still alive. Double shot of hot chocolate. As the world turns, her guiding light. Whatever soap operas come on after The Price is Right. Chilling out. Cozy. Security. No fear of immediate immense doom wreaking havoc upon my life. All that kind of thing. We haven't gone here before, and I decided I'm going to add that last video behind this. So let's not have too much of a tangent. The orderliness of time. We'll put the Lome marsupial fights lens perspiration video after this. Yeah, that other bridge, you have to go way up and then around and around, and then there's this very darling stream curve that the water just makes its way through around the curves. It hasn't broken through into curving and into a straight line, if you get what I mean. There's no flooding that broke the S into a I guess is what I mean. This is just great though. Yes, I've swam down in there a lot in my life. Not in the last 7 years or so. Winds are coming up. I'm gonna make my way back, I guess. I'd get wet, but my camera will stay dry in the Ziploc into my backpack. So let's go. I'm starting to get into it now though. The only thing I want, and I'm addicted to this, it's some coffee. I must have really screwed up my life big time with my enjoyment of coffee. I don't even have any creamer at home, but I got some dark chocolate almond milk. Try to do what I can. You know, one thing though, it made it all a bit difficult for me to realize is that adding maple syrup ain't great. I'm turning this off. I don't want to seem like some YouTuber. This wooden bridge, it always smells like wet wood. Or it smells like wood. Always, all the time. Because it's alive still. But it smells cool as hell. I guess it smells like, I don't know. Mulch doesn't smell like wood. Nothing smells like mulch. Mulch just smells like the wood it was ground up from. So if you can get what I'm saying, let me know. Because I'm not sure what the hell I'm saying. Not there, but... That's the sign. Let me take a picture of that. Don't stop me. Don't try to stop. Ooh, I did it anyway. Still don't know what it keeps and doesn't completely when you're dialed. And I think there's a few things. I know that it decides what ISO it wants to be, which I think is pretty handy. Now there's some. I was going like this right here, and there was a sign up that had a hole through it, and I don't know what the hell I did. I don't know which way I did it, but like it was in sepia, and I did the album cover insert for Shadow Swoon Hiss the Dead Man, which is a great name for an album and a double CD story, but the songs, those were majorly one thing. I was just like, I'm not gonna really reuse any of this stuff at the moment, you know, but it's a very dilapidated album. Simple. Thought I knew what I was doing. I never know what I'm doing when it comes to music or anything. What the hell happened here? Looks like somebody did a burnout with a tricycle since the last time I showed up. I mean, what do you think happened? Does it not look like somebody did a burnout with a tricycle right there? If you check my next video I'm adding right on the ass end of this, you can check for me if you want whether there's a circular situation going on there. Like the laziest crop circle I've ever seen. We get stuck with lazy aliens now. Anyway. Now I'm still a fat monster, you know. It's gonna take a lot of these things. That strain of horror that you feel, that you know is a rewarding physical endeavor when you're on a bicycle. You pop it into the lowest, one of the lowest gears. What's happening? I bet you I got something on my screen. No? That was weird. There's some sights for you. Uh-oh. We ain't got much time before the wetness comes. Sounds like a honeymoon threat. You know, when people had a sense of ease in their life, you could say something like that and everyone would laugh because it's funny. Now your career's ruined, your reputation's swindled, your public itinerary is in a fathom of jeopardy. What am I supposed to do? Anyway. Oh, this is just great though. Maybe I'm just a simple person who expects my camera to not fuck up. Nope. Alright, it's time for me to move on to a different camera. It looks like it this way. That was unacceptable. Oh yeah. Yeah, being possessed by Ansel Adams. It's just that kind of stuff. All that bloomage the darkening skies. Makes me feel better being around humans, expecting to socialize and play all of their snake games and everything. It was always weird thinking about getting booked shows for festivals and shit like that, and having to like being expected to suck the farts out of everybody organizing everything, or knowing everybody already, or getting all these lame excuses from people that I asked, to the point where I realized that I'm never going to get anywhere with it around here. Is that you can't possibly just expect a musician to do their own thing and get up and do their thing, bond with everybody, or emit your expression that way, and pack it in and go off. You got your fill of socializing that way. You're allowed to represent your stories, your creations, your ideas, etc., etc. Alright. It's happening. If you think about it, this is the perfect time to transfer the video over into the lens wetness trepidation, because we're going right back to what the next series is going to be, which I decided halfway through this walk, and it's going to be dealing with this. And I didn't bring a cloth, so we'll just do it that way. Oh no, my lens is getting wet. Oh no, my lens is getting wet. Doing some walking, and 680, 480, or 640, 480, 640, 480, right? I still like this frame ratio. Always this spot here. It's a crazy dangerous spot because it's right before where there's a corner, and it's always, you don't ever want to drive over that stuff, but then if you skip it, you're at the risk of someone coming right down upon you on the other way, down the corner. Here comes somebody right now. One bottle of spring water, and it is spring water. I don't know what they had in there before that they advertised it as. All I know is that's gone, and I refilled it with some spring water. Oh, I didn't know. You had some dashes of rain. Rain drips on the lens, didn't know that. Highway is super busy. I'm gonna stroll up the tracks here. Strangely enough, this is one of the last places I biffed my ankle up on, was on the railroad tracks. So take that as you will. Yeah, I'm traveling lightweight with basically just a water bottle. Start sipping it soon. The quicker you drink it, you can squish it down and carry an empty bottle in your pocket. Otherwise, I'm going like this. Because I don't know, do I have belt loops on my pants? It's got this elastic top on these pants, and there's a drawstring. I tie that drawstring to a double knot. It takes a lot of effort to undo the drawstring. And then I can put this in the pocket. No, wait, I can't. These are shallow pockets. So I'll just walk with the water bottle in my hand. Got some glistening mist, as you can tell. Glitzing mist, so constant refreshing of the lens on this. Oh shit, look how wobbly we're getting. Do you like that there's stereo sound on these mics? One to the left, one to the right of the lens barrel. I am very persistent with sticking to these power shots. For some reason in my life I do that with a lot of things that have worked for me in the past. I know that technology updates and all this and all that. Could be carrying my smartphone around. What a smartphone is in the house, you know. I don't want to take that thing with me. I don't always want to be. Is that song Untraceable, Unfindable? Yeah. I think I actually added that song on the end of something. On the end of It's Raining Bone-Clad Gizmos. Maybe it didn't belong there, but the Verbena album had something up with it. I had a song called Honda 400, and it just didn't sound right. There's so many songs that I just was kind of like, you know what, I'm not messing about with keeping these right now. So the songs transplanted themselves onto It's Raining Bone-Clad Gizmos. What do you even want to do when stuff like that happens? Like, I gotta carry that. I saw that so many times. I was irresponsible and never picked it up. But now I'm gonna have broken glass in my... which pocket? In my front pocket. Yeah. I thought I had something in my front pocket already. That's what I say. Where did it go? The thing about all this stuff going on, I just don't like being the highway's curiosity. And I'm typically somebody's damned curiosity no matter where I go. And I don't like it. But I like walks. I love the railroad tracks. I love... This is my saving grace. You know? My saving grace. Every single detail you may or may not see here. It's all purely photogenic, even as you get used to having your face wiped off by my coattail. I'll see if I regret not checking the mic filter. You can put a wind filter on. It makes it seem like there's a dampener over the mics. Well, I got a piece of busted glass in my front pocket now, so didn't see that in my horoscope. In fact, I haven't checked my horoscope in a zillion years. I think I might use a program called Wondershare to compile these clips together so I can overwrite, or I can override using this video editing program, which seems like it's more too sturdy for it to sound good, really. Have to wait till I hit a certain spot before I begin swigging any water I have. It was my batteries. They're in my front pocket, my chest button pocket, because there's a button. I didn't want them freeform where that piece of beer glass is, because you're just gonna look for your batteries at one point and there's gonna be like 3 there and you're gonna be like, where's the one battery, you know? So it's a nice spot. I went skinny dipping, not really swimming. I always say, hey, I'm going for a swim. It's like, I am not doing the act of swimming, you know? There's not much swimming happening. I just jump in, cool off, dunk my head again and again. And thankfully there's all these railroad stones that fell right into there, and they make nice little seats for your butt or whatever. You can set your things onto there. There's a little deep spot there that started up, and I'm glad about it. One of these days somebody's going to try to give me guff about walking where I'm walking, even though most of my lifetime it's been kind of agreed upon that you ain't causing no harm, then there's no foul or whatever. Waterfowl. I mean, I've confused pheasants for partridge quite a lot in my life, to be honest. I get my story together right between which ones they fly off like they mean business too. They just don't want anything to do with defending their nest whatsoever. Whatever kind of creature it is. Partridge, pheasant. And they have really beautiful back tails too. There's a spot, I just walked by this. There's some gangplank, a gangplank of findings. One of them is this metal thing right there too, if you see it. I don't know what it is. It's pretty cool, you know? It's like a doorknob thing almost, so. Turns out it's coming with me, I guess, so. Finally it's coming with me, I don't care. Somebody peering out of their window with binoculars. No, because I walked up this way before and somebody chased me down. I had my tripod. And they thought it was a hunting bow, I swear to God. And they're like, you can't hunt me. I'm like, yeah, well, this is a tripod. And it's a public stream. Cut over, and you know, it's what my grandfather had, you know, his land line. This is a beautiful little bird here. Is that a catbird? Right into the bushes. You can check out the focusing. There it goes. All these fucking cars up here. People you can count on for sure, man. I swear I have a built-in unallegiance of trust to anyone that lives like within the county, and it sounds sucky, but it's like once I cross a certain line, I'm like okay without it being negligible. The kind of hospitality grace, because like when you got people that like live up the road or something, someone that lives somewhere around here just throws trash out their truck all the time. They throw booze bottles, lottery tickets, fast food wrappers and shit, and they've lived here and it's their part of their land too. So once I cross a certain area, I kind of feel it just sucks though, because it takes a long ways to maneuver yourself. It's not always easy leaving far a lot of the time. Carry this thing around now. Oh, I gotta wipe the LCD screen. I'm wondering how long I have. For the LCD screen to stand up to hold its ground. But yeah, I got this now. Pretty cool. I swear I can make some percussive instruments with these things that I'm collecting, and it'll be fun. The idea is that it takes up much less space than a drum kit. If these cars sound louder than me, it's not representing how much louder than me these cars actually are. Everything's changing now, and these aren't really like peaceful places anymore. This is kind of my escape, but the traffic is so intense anymore. And yeah. Had that book idea where the right here in the front page of this book says, "Write to me and you will be featured in my next book. All you have to do is let me stay with you for a few days each time, and I'm gonna travel right about all where I am. Hopefully not become meatened up axe practice chop." I can't end that sentence. Not become a chopped up axe practice pad, etc. You know what I mean. Carry a Colt 45 on me. Keep myself protected, yeah. There we go, a little bit of some leniency, some peacefulness. Turn around, no one's on my tail. Alright, I hope this is the last time I have to do this. I want your Dolby surround sound to be turned on every time I wipe the lens off. Are you serious? There's still... Wow. Don't try this at home, kids. I'm not even using a lens cloth. Just using this color. It's my color combo right now. I got this nice blue dress shirt. I thought it was thin enough to wear, but I was sweating even wearing that earlier. We'll get down to business soon, don't worry. Ain't nobody gonna see us up here this soon. So I don't know what that means, but get like a head strap and just strap this giant camera in my head. Be a blockhead. Blockhead. This is my inventory on me right now. Is like what looks to be like a brass doorknob somehow. I really don't think that's a brass doorknob though. It's something else, and I'm not quite sure yet. I don't want to make aimless guesses. So I have that, a bottle of water, batteries in my chest pocket, a pocket full of the bottom of a busted beer bottle, extra shirt to use as a tourniquet if needed, a pair of boots that I put the zippers on myself so they, I like saying that, you don't want to be walking around with buckets on your ankles. So find some boots and make sure they wrap around your ankles nice so they walk with you. Any boots that are baggy at the top, you're walking against your boots. Why are you doing that? Don't do that. Stop doing that. It's like a place for rattlesnakes to jump on into and swim around your ankles. You don't want to have that happen, do you? Yeah, I was hoping to have brought a fanny pack, but I couldn't find my fanny pack. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to try to put this in my pocket, but it's going to weigh. It's not weighing my pocket down so bad, actually, now that you think about it. I'm going to take my first sip of this water, which is really actual, real spring water. Guaranteed spring water. Did I do too much? Did I drink too much? I don't know. The weight is down a bit. Now I can have this in my back pocket. I've got free hands now. Maybe tie. I'm not this. You know, you're gonna get some. This is gonna be like the main GIF of the video thumbnail, and you're gonna get flagged. But I'm just tying the cord on my pants because I'm gonna answer that question I asked earlier. Are there belt notches? There are. So I could have had a belt. I could have put a belt on to hold the stuff up in my pocket, but we'll rely on those strings instead and keep fighting against the glitzes, which is what I call just spritzels of the rain, the dew that's coming down. But I don't know, I'm not getting chased by mosquitoes or giant human-sized praying mantis. Even though that would be better if that did happen. I wouldn't have them chase me, I would have them be on my side, obviously. I mean, don't you see me, do I get along with the common public? I've tried before. Now ask another question. Would I get along with human-sized praying mantoids? I think we know the answer. That's actually this is my viewer base. And if it happens that my audio is all fragged up because of my wind filter setting, I'll at least know that the mantoids or whatever will be able to discern, or will be able to translate what it is I'm saying. So I'm gonna do some more detailing with my cheap camera. Don't get any scratches on my screen, do I? It's LCD screen. Well, it really doesn't want to focus, does it? That lens protector goes a bit out from where the original lens is. It has a bit of some distance. You gotta be kidding me. This is really a lot more. If I had a lens hood, I could pop it on, but I'd need to upgrade the size since the UV lens is not the original lens size. I'm gonna stop for a few because I have to keep cleaning the lens off and it's not so fun, but I just love all of that down there. It's perfect. It is sprinkling out a bit. I can see it now that I look over this way as I point. Just look at that though. Look at the depth of all of that. Pure trees, streams, animals that don't care about me being here right now, or anybody in particular, so I appreciate that. Well, it seems that the rainfall is actually coming down a little more wild and picking up. So I'm gonna put this over my shoulder, this camera, and drape my would-be tourniquet, whatever, man, come on. I'm gonna wrap that around my camera, keep it just dry. It should be. It's gonna be light rain. I want to take care of this camera. I have more beat up versions of this PowerShot. Why didn't I take those? Well, I probably couldn't find them. I had to dig through so much stuff. I'll show you what I think is okay for photography usually. Just walking around, and for me, I like it. I like seeing sticks like that. Just the way that they're formed. Strangely enough, you have that mud, goo, tacky oil tar. And here's some more. Yeah, I gotta fix what's going on with the focus scenario here. Should lock right in typically. It's a zoom lens. I mean, come on, we're zooming. And zoom out. We just zoomed out. Maybe it needs to do stretches first, you know, you gotta exercise your camera. You just expect it to be bending all sorts of joints right out of the gate or anything, you know. Oh ho ho ho! What the hell is that? There we go. Now, right now, have a nice pot pie to eat. Just sit down right here. I mean, look, there's always, you catch it. All the damn things you can find. Look at that. Look at that. I look at all these and I'm thinking what sounds can be made by all of this stuff that's pretty much just rubbish. You know, at this point. How much my pants ain't gonna be able to stay up if I start carrying everything I find around. Look at that. To me, that's beautiful. This is so cool. I think that's very cool. I don't know why. I don't know why. Just look at this. What can I do? I'm carrying everything around. Just put that on the end of my necklace. Swaying around. That won't mess about with your walking whatsoever. This thing swaying back and forth. What am I gonna do though? What am I gonna do? There's a post. There's like a, you know, a metal post. You can just take this, walk up to the post, set it around the uppity, set it at the bottom of the pole there. I don't think anyone else is gonna come along and be like, I must have that, but you'd be surprised. I'm not. You can be. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be surprised anymore. Not me. I feel like I'm waddling. Welcome to Waddle Vision with Lome Marsupial. Because he didn't want to be Laszlo Strutz. He didn't want to be Les Monstrelli. Fine. Damn. Whatever. Alright. These sycamores, every single moment, they're just growing and growing. And I like it a lot. These things are just magnificent, marvelous, magical. Look at the leaves on them. Look at those leaves. It's wonderful. Different tree here. Come on, baby, we're trying to lock into the zoom, you know? What if I had a bobcat run out down that way and I needed to zoom in quick, get everything in order? This has a manual focus on it where you have to swivel this wheel dial on it, and it's very inorganic. I've done it though. If you do like a nighttime slow shutter speed shot on a tripod, you want to put your self timer on and try to dial it in as best as you can, but typically it takes like 2 to 3 times to actually see if you're locked in on the focus, because there's this little tiny box that comes up in the center of the screen. Now maybe there's a menu to change that. Look at this. You could just, oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. That thing thinks it's David Copperfield. Maybe it is. David Copperfield turned into a railroad rust scrap for this particular magic trick. I should have to put a warning up on this video about the lens being wiped repeatedly. What would you rather do? I won't want to ask that question, actually. Forget I asked it. There we go. These stream curves, serpentine, and it hasn't broken that curve despite all of the floods that I've had happen around here. I'm the one I did the floods. I had to hold my drink in for a while, and then I let it all go, and flood. There are some railroad tracks that are like from my great-great-grandparents on my grandma's side, where there's a pretty historical bridge out that way. It's catnip heaven out that way too. I noticed that once, and I had some shop bags with me. Did I say this already? I don't know. I was going crazy getting as much catnip as I could out that way when the mosquitoes found out about me, so I had to hyper pick the catnip. That's by this old river way, and my great-great-grandparents, you know, had built their own little house, and really quaint, very pretty, peaceful, but maybe too peaceful for some people, as in if you wanted to have any rendezvous or anything like that, it'd be difficult to get a cavalry together and all that kind of thing. I might go out that way again sometime. I would possibly take my motorbike out, moving the swivel screen. Look at this. It's not really immediately loading to focus, so. To be honest, these zoom lens cameras are kind of scaring me, because once they do that beep 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 lens error thing, it's like hit or miss to know if it's ever going to recover or not. I'll try another zoom and lock in. How we doing there? Seemed a lot better that time. I had the smell of old telephone post. Telephone or electric? What do you think those are? Old telephone lines? Which one is it when you had those old glass cones that people collect, and obviously there aren't any there because they collected them all? Zoom in on the moss up there. How we doing? It's bizarre to think that you're trying it with this and immediately better options are available, but are there really that many better options where you can actually zoom like straight down the barrel though, you know? Because I'm withheld to the 640 by 480, you know, but like I said, I actually prefer that. Like right there. To me, looking through the screen, pretty terrific, you know. You can even click a photo and it will record the video still, right? Looks like it. Pretty cool. That little click sound though, that's what you get, because there's these shutter sounds too that goes, you know that sound. I'm not going to try to recreate it with my I'm not in the police academy movie. Even if I was born yesterday, I would still use that as a reference. It's not much of an aged reference so much as an enjoyment of every single era of movies. They call that coping, don't they? Whatever. That's a nice sight right there. What's the ISO do though if you're using the video mode and taking a photo? There we are right now. We're the hell away from the highway. I have that doorknob looking thing in my pocket, that ball bearing thing, and picked up the broken glass, so there doesn't need to be any mandatory returns to this spot. A little bit of some water left. The rain stopped. It actually tells me I'm at ISO 400, so it's interesting. It's to 320, so it does adjust it to what it thinks it wants to do, even if I'm in program mode. I'm thinking it will do that through all the modes, all the way up to manual and custom. Do you think there'd be more bird life activity around? I haven't seen a lot. That's what I would expect to. I'm in no hurry whatsoever now, finally, you know. I'd taken a bit of an ease just for a few moments. It's very unlike how my life has been in about the past 8 years or so. Well, what's everybody up to anyway? That's a question I'd ask if I could live stream, but it doesn't have to be. It can be a later on kind of thing. What's going on with people? Who are you? What are you all about? What is about? You're not giant praying mantis, are you? How the hell do you sound? I need to look up what the praying mantis sounds actually sound like. I'd be pretty interested in hearing that. Study the language, learn the language, just in case. There we go. What do you think about the textures for this? When I look through here, it's like I'm getting more it's like harsher, almost like harsher textures. I just really, even if I got all these, even if I can't get this figured out, because I really should be having that much little water bubbles going on the screen. The color palette for cannons is something I like a whole lot. Here, I can hear some birds now. It's good. The breeze out here is tremendous. It's gentle, dreamy. Actually having a bit of a good time out here. I just wanted some cranberry grape soup. Grape soup. Some cranberry grape juice and a pot pie. Oh, I'd be in heaven. Ooh. Don't bring me back to the real world. Hell with that. I think I want to go back to the real world. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, these sprinkles just are not stopping. It's almost like the inside of the lens, there we go, is got wetness in there. I like having that frame just blurred. I just noticed. There we go. If I went a bit further, there'd be the outline of these mountain-esque hills. One of them is classified as a mountain, but mostly they just look to be mountains. I know my fingernails are actually hitting the camera body, so you're probably getting a whole earful of that, aren't you? You'd have to identify those birds. I can't be so sure right now. Well, you only can use such a memory card size to use the check disk or CHK, DSK camera hack, but it'll give you a battery display, which I don't have right now. You know, like a battery meter. And I think some nice time-lapse options also. Oh man, my foot just slipped in some gunk. You don't think somebody put that there to use as a seat, do you? It must have just fell that way. With these images, you can do a good amount of cropping into the details of like wood growth and stones and everything. You know what's also strange? This is bothering the hell out of me. I must have. I don't want to take the whole damn thing off, but I almost did. I started swirling it. Yeah. Well, I apologize. We'll just have to kind of deal with it for the moment. I'm not messing about with any chances regarding this one here. These are the stones I had a lens kiss before. the true lens, not the UV lens. So. No, but there's like the super fine option is built in. You can go from fine, super fine, and then off, I think. And it basically has to do with just like taking up file size, being mindful of that. But the super fine I did not see on the S40. There's a deer. So there's some wildlife here. Hello. Have I seen you before? What are you, a blur? Sorry that you're a blur. Yeah, you don't scare me, but I'm not out to mess about with you, so you'll be alright. I just thought there was a couple of you, though. It sounded like a track of two deer making the noise and everything. Who knows? And it's just, to me, with super fine on, you can grab out a lot of details and everything, and it's pretty fun. Let's see how it actually exports, though, in that beautiful, intricate Wondershare program, which I shouldn't denounce if I'm using it. You can quick size things into WebM or MP4, AVI, and all that. I might actually sit down and try to get the inside lens clean, because there's no excuse for the little water dots to be there. I want to just keep on going. Looks like there's yeah, you're not going to zoom that far, are you? I mean, I guess we are. Ultimate hand test for stillness, because we are way down there, and this isn't even the major zoom, you know, built into the power shots. I'm at a 20x zoom. I think there's like, oh, that's why it's called the SX40. What an idiot I am. That's the name of the camera, is off of the zoom amount. Funny, I didn't even realize until now. That's hilarious. But I have an S5 IS. I thought that was not limited to 5 times the amount. Now I have to check. I still thought that one was 10. So. Just a nice peaceful walk. Because there always was a part of this thing called this life I live that actually didn't have commotion, you know. It's easier to be loud, or people take notice to things that are like outbursts or loudness and everything like that. And I don't take my peaceful moments in life for granted. I just live them out. And I'm not about like usually bringing documentation. I just like to enjoy them as fully as possible, and sometimes, you know, carrying a device around or whatever to document things makes you step back out of the main circuit and everything. Anyway, this would be good snack time, but since I'm trying to not be so fat, I've abandoned bringing such. Initiate recording sequence. Recording sequence initiated. Activate gallbladder protection system. Gallbladder protection system activated. Initiate water droplet lens replication. Water drop lens replication device activated. You may now proceed with hill walk. Hidden super secret sit on your butt escalator ride has been dismounted, removed, and defragulated. Continue with footpath walking traverse scenario. Now, how fast would you need to go down this roadway for this little divot to be any kind of problem? And what's going on with it to begin with? Maybe there are some divot experts who would like to add in, because there's not just one, but it happens again up here. I've ridden blind night bicycle style down this, and it's not really showing the steepness as it really is, and it's not even terrible right here, but this way you come up and then again it's nice. You get my calves aching a bit anyway, you know. Wouldn't you like that? Get your calves aching a bit too. Oh my god. Alright, get a lens hood that fits this 58. Do that. Guess I have to. It's nice and peaceful. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the walk, I think. Make it back to my camper. Stop in there and get a canned seltzer. Which means I can drink down the rest of the spring water right now and be okay with it. Well, thanks for walking along with me. I mean, it's just a walk. That's all this is. It's just a walk. I do still have my guitar in front of me too. I can't talk without having it there. So I have been walking around the whole time with the camera, with the guitar in front of me, leaning my right arm on the upper of it. It's became a thing. I do that with everything I do. When I shower, when I skinny dip, when I climb up the tree to chase the woodpecker around, you know, to ask, hey man, what are you doing today? You want a candy bar? 'Cause I'll have one if you got one. He's walking in the middle of the road. What do you think about fate and the life trajectory of wildlife? You got something on your face, guy. Come on, man. He has like a stick stuck to his eye. Get it off. He's got like a stick stuck to him. Come on. I'm not trying to mess with you, but you don't want to have that on. I'll set my camera down for a second. He's got a stick stuck to him. I'm gonna get it off. I know. Are you good? Are you good? Can you walk alright? How are you doing? It looks like he's flat. No, you're alright. Alright, shoo. Is your arm okay? I'm doing a doctor checkup on him. He had a little stick and it was like stuck to his eyeball. It's off. I think it must be okay. It looks like he's flat though. Why be so flat? I think he's okay. You alright? Do they do that? With the way that the leg is? Yeah, you're okay. These hallucinations of endeavor about an animal's well-being. Well, we got him across the road. My idea is he's going to turn into a splat, you know, so. Sorry, my necklace. The necklace does have a purpose to it. It can open paint can lids with the sphere on it. And I got a crow feather for the reward of helping the newt slash salamander. To me, they're newts. Those ones, they're newts. Have them across the road. Now it's probably visible for a larger thing to look at and say, look at that orange bright thing. It's nice to eat. It'll swoop down and eat it. Well, it could have happened anywhere, though. He was just this bright orange. Where it was beforehand, as it was where I left it to be.